You know that person, right? The one who spends hours, maybe even days, trying to fix something you could just replace in minutes? It's easy to write it off as stubbornness, but it's usually something way, way deeper. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden psychology and the fascinating history behind that fix-it mentality. Just picture it. It's Saturday morning. The lawnmower's been broken for weeks. A brand new one is $60 down at the hardware store. But for this guy, with grease under his fingernails and scrapes on his knuckles, that's just not an option. He's taking it apart, again. He's absolutely determined not to replace it. So, what's the deal? Is this just a case of being plain stubborn? Or is there something else going on? Something older, quieter, and honestly, a lot more interesting, working just under the surface? Well, let's find out. To really get this impulse, we have to look back, way back. Because this isn't just one person's choice. It's a habit that's been hardwired by history itself. It's like an echo passed down through the generations. The origin story of the fixer is pretty amazing, actually. Think about the generation that lived through the Great Depression. They learned a really hard lesson. Resources are never guaranteed. Then World War II hits, and all of a sudden, repair isn't just a useful skill, it's necessary, it's patriotic. So even when the post-war boom brought all this abundance, that deep emotional programming of scarcity and self-reliance, it didn't just go away. It got passed down from parent to child. And that historical mindset, it didn't just vanish into thin air. It shaped our psychology. And this brings us to a really crucial point. The act of repair is almost never just about the object. It's really about the person who's doing the repairing. Psychologists have a term for this. It's called the endowment effect. Think about an old chair you inherited and spent a weekend restoring. Once you've poured your time, your effort, your memories into it, it's not just an it anymore, is it? It has a story. It's yours in a way that something new from a store could never be. Its value is personal now, not just what it costs. This personal investment fires up another really powerful psychological driver: self-efficacy. This is that deeply satisfying feeling that your actions can create real, tangible results. And honestly, there are very few things that deliver that feeling as directly as taking something broken and making it work again. And this is so, so important in the modern world. I mean, so many of us have these abstract jobs where shifting data around, we're sitting in meetings. The results can feel, well, invisible. But to go home and fix a leaky pipe, at the end of that, you have undeniable proof. The water runs again. You did that. And that psychological reward, it's immense. This is also why this whole behavior often gets stronger when we're under stress. When life feels chaotic, totally out of your hands, maybe you're worried about money or your job, the garage or the workshop becomes a kind of sanctuary. You can't control the economy, but you can rebuild this carburetor. It's a way of taking back control over one small corner of your world. But there's an even deeper level to this, almost a philosophical one. For a true fixer, there's a kind of a moral weight to a broken object. When you get right down to it, the act of repairing something is a stand against the very idea of abandonment. It's a whole worldview where just walking away is never the first option. And that mindset, it doesn't just apply to old toasters. It bleeds into everything: relationships, commitments, responsibilities. And this is where we see the two sides of this coin, right? The strength is profound. These are often the people who will fight for a relationship, who refuse to give up. But that can also be a trap. Why? Because, well, not everything that's broken should be fixed. This mindset can make it incredibly hard to let go, even when letting go is the healthiest thing to do. So where does this old world mindset fit in our throwaway culture? Well, it's not just hiding out in garages anymore. It's actually staging a revolt. Now, to understand this revolt, you first have to know what it's fighting against: planned obsolescence. This is the whole economic strategy of deliberately designing products to fail. It's a system built in direct opposition to the fixer ethos, one that tells us repair is old-fashioned and that replacement is the only way forward. But just look around. That ethos is pushing back hard. You see it in the trend of refurbished furniture, invisible mending on clothes, in a whole generation learning from YouTube how to fix their own phones. It's even become a political battle with the whole right to repair movement. The objects have changed, but the fundamental idea, it's exactly the same. This modern comeback of craft and repair isn't just about being eco-friendly or saving a few bucks. It's a deep, psychological revolt against a culture that's been telling us for decades that the only real sign of progress is to throw something out and buy a new one. Which brings us right back to our guy in the garage. We can see him a little differently now, can't we? He isn't just being stubborn about buying a new lawnmower. He's making a stand. He is refusing to believe that the history, the effort, and the object right in front of him are not worth saving. And all of this leaves us with one final thought. The things we choose to fix versus the things we replace, that tells a powerful story about our values. The question isn't really about a lawnmower, is it? It's about what you, personally, have been taught is worth the effort of keeping.